The following trailer is rated H for honest. From the developers of a series about getting so angry that you murder an entire mythology's worth of deities, comes the newest entry in the franchise, where you'll face your greatest challenge yet. Fatherhood, God of War 4. Dab on the full-body goth makeup of Kratos, the god who destroyed an entire pantheon with QuickTime events, and discover a brand new God of War, as the series takes you from the familiar world of snapping spines and sex minigames in sunny Greece, to tossing axes and being a dad in the frozen north, in a series makeover that matured with its audience, but never forgot what the game was really about. Solving your problems with violence. Get thrown into the never-ending battle that is parenthood, as Atreus and his bad dad travel to the 9 realms of Norse mythology, along with a ragtag crew of magical comrades, to fulfill his mother's suspiciously inconvenient dying wish. On a journey so dangerous, it's surprising Fantasy Child Protective Services didn't show up to take the kid away. Then watch as Kratos does his best to teach his son how to survive, and not grow up to be an all-powerful asshole like his dad, all while struggling through an obvious case of PTSD, and being such an absentee father that he clearly can't even remember his own son's name.
Boy, what did I tell you about offering help?
Don't.
Better save up that hacksilver, because that kid is gonna need a lot of therapy. Explore the many treasure-filled caves of God of War's sort of open world, as you take time off your epic quest to paddle around a lake. Solve puzzles that all conveniently require a magical returning ice axe. Desecrate every grave you find. Spend 20 minutes throwing an axe at a bird. And solve the problems of dwarves and sad ghost men, despite Kratos whining about how he doesn't want to the whole time. Sheesh, just let me do my side quest, Dad. Dive fist first into the furious battles of God of War 4, as Kratos receives a brand new combat system to go with his shiny new axe that sets aside the furious mashing of the previous games for a more deliberate combat style, where you'll balance parries, axe throws, combos, and boy, to juggle your opponents, knock them into each other, and stun them. Then blow them up with your favorite flavor of special attack, in a battle system that will make you feel godlike, until you run into a guy with a purple health bar and get absolutely wrecked, because I guess being an immortal deity doesn't mean squat when you're underleveled. Uncover the real shift in the God of War formula, the RPG elements, as the series follows in the footsteps of every other video game and adds in a splash of Diablo, with character levels and stats, craftable armor and enchantments colored by rarity, materials you'll need to grind, and tons of upgradable moves to find in chests, in an action RPG experience that's as much about gear builds as it is about kicking ass. There's nothing that makes me feel like the physical embodiment of war like figuring out how much cooldown a new belt gives me. So strap your son to your back and get ready for an action-adventure of monstrous proportions that did about as well with rebooting a popular franchise as you possibly can. And if you don't like the way they went with it, too bad, because they're definitely making like 9 more of these things. Starring God Bud, the boy who had no name. Danny DeVito is Mystique. Cindry all the hair off my body. Wish don't kill my vibe. A literal talking head. Very large snack. And balding out of control. Dad a boy. You know, it's a good thing Kratos' enemies never figure out his true weakness. Small edges that aren't painted yellow.